Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isagami, your resident tinkerer and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we step away from the Medarot Damashii anime collaboration for just a hot minute, this week we're actually going to be celebrating the birthday of one of our 3 resident MedaTuber gals that has been on the channel for quite some time now, just spreading love and joy wherever she can, and just making us Medarotters feel comfy and at home whenever she streams. This week we're going to be celebrating Cheerful Bunny's 3rd birthday on the channel, celebrating how many years that she's been with us and what she's brought, as well as the introduction of a brand new upgraded form, much like they did with Lila just a few back. So I do anticipate that this form is going to be just as well received, and being completely honest, I honestly do have to say I kind of like this new form the best of all 3 of her iterations. Just as far as aesthetics are alone. But with that being said, there is still a handful of other really big announcements to be made, not just through the game, but also community-side, and even a survey that I'm hosting at the end that I could use you guys' opinions on. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners and who to expect incoming. Luckily, like I said, it's only going to be just a highlight of one brand new model, and that is the new version of Cheerful Bunny, which is IDL07 Cheerful Bunny 3, with a completely brand new kit across the board of Charge Upper, HP Shot, OC Shot, Biped Legs, and a brand new leg ability called Supporter. Now, to explain the kit briefly, Cheerful Bunny just doesn't really step away from her established mantra too terribly hard compared to what she brought before. Charge Upper basically increases the amount of charge that everyone gets across the party to 30%, which means if you charge Metaforce, you're getting 39% instead of your regular 30. HP Shot is basically just short for Heater Plant Shot. Every time you take a shot, a Heater Plant goes down to passively buff the heat stat of everyone on your side of the field. And OC Shot, or short for Overcharge Shot, is basically as it sounds. We're getting a new shooty version of Overcharge, which is 10% Metaforce charge to the enemy it attacks. If the enemy has full charge, that is a ×5 damage bonus and a full damage conversion for ultimate punish, and then draining all the charge, draining the Metaforce charge from that said target. Supporter basically will boost her leg stats incrementally for every plant that's placed on the field while she's in combat. So compared to the previous several weeks of more or less just kind of rehashed existing skills post-TP without the bonuses, seeing a completely brand new array here straight from the ground up to celebrate Cheerful Bunny's birthday on 10/5 in just a few days is a really nice breath of fresh air. And given that we are also going to be celebrating Shushu Pop's birthday here sometime in later October as well, I'm expecting it's going to be a pretty fun month as we get into the spooky season and what to expect overall. Now, much like it has been with previous versions of the MedaTubers getting upgrades, the boosted rate banners are basically just her original versions of Cheerful Bunny 1, IDL03, with Hypercrept, Charge Drain, Overcharge, Biped Legs, and Mirage, and her second form, IDL04 Cheerful Bunny 2, with Precognition, Power Hammer, Overcharge, Biped Legs, and Brilliance. Being completely honest, I think that Cheerful Bunny has some kind of hidden vendetta against enemies that are using Metaforce-reliant strategies, because, as you see here, she's kind of not let go of that ability ever since her first iteration as a pop idol type. So, if you primarily use any Metaforce sustain in any kind of capacity, approach with caution. That's just the best way I can put it. Cheerful Bunny, if you do end up finding my tiny little corner of the internet here, I do want to wish you happy birthday as well. Hope you have a good time, and I'm looking forward to celebrating with you as the rest of the Medarot community is, as we log into Medarot S and do our dailies and just do what we can to support our community. Now, with the fierce battles we have going on this week, we're starting up with a whole bunch of familiar faces that have been around in Medarot S for a pretty hot minute now. Starting on this top row are 3 familiar faces everybody knows and loves. That is starting us off with TIR0 Attack Tyranno, with Fire, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Straight. We have PTL0's Air Terra with Radar Sight, Double Sword, Flight Legs, and Straight. And BRA0 Land Brachio with Anti-Air, Double Beam, Tank Legs, and Bullet Rain. On this bottom row, we're starting up with EPI0 Bone Cracker, with Heel Trap, Double Sword, Float Legs, and Straight. We have WEA-03P2 Shisaku 2, the second prototype of Death Providence, with Charge Buster, Press, Power Rifle, Tank Legs, and Trap Buster. And then last but not least, yet one more familiar face everybody knows and loves, and that is SCP-0 Poison Scorpy with Triple Melt, Multi-Legs, and Desert type. Now, honestly, we have a lot of really great skills from Mailbots this week compared to what we have in previous weeks. Attack Tyranno, Air Terra, and Bone Cracker in particular, all sharing the exact same leg ability across 3 different leg types, Biped, Flight, and Float, and some very solid conventional sword or hammer skills as well. Ultimately, though, I do have to give MVP of the week to Poison Scorpy here, primarily for the reason that Multi-Legs with Desert type is actually a very solid part that you can make use of basically anywhere. Most multi-ped legs tend to really suck on desert or wasteland terrains, so having that extra terrain mastery is going to really give you that extra competitive edge. For anyone else, Land Brachio for tank legs and Bullet Rain for all your high-power shooters, Attack Tyranno, Air Terra, or even Bone Cracker for your melee fighters that need a good leg type, and even Shisaku 2 if you need basically a free power rifle that you can raise to good levels. Even if you don't raise it all the way up to rank 5, it's still going to be a very good week for a lot of very solid and versatile parts from males. Ultimately, all 6 are very good to have, but Poison Scorpy I do have to give MVP of the week just for the legs of Desert type. Plus, having the boost to DOT damage really kicking up now will also really come in handy, as it means that he'll now be able to eat through armor a whole lot faster than he ever was before, and just add a little more viability to staying on the field as long as possible. Now, one other thing to mention, much like it has been with other limited times and birthdays, we are getting a special Super Invasion to celebrate Cheerful Bun's 3rd birthday, featuring her new body, Cheerful Bun 3 itself, and most likely will be featuring her prior forms as well. I honestly really can't say what this one's going to have in terms of rules, because it is also debuting her new single, that is also going to be available in the web store as a BGM that you can purchase, by the way. So it's going to be kind of hard to tell, but if it's anything like any of the previous MedaTuber Super Invasions, be ready for the army. The MedaTubers know how to, as adorable as they are, they know how to fight, mean, and you are going to need to make sure that you go in prepared when you go to face the Bun, because she knows how to fight, and if you are using Metaforce Charge or Sustain in any capacity, you are going to be in pain the most. This is your only warning going forward from your old pal Kuro. Now, as far as events go, as I continue onward here, this is actually going to be a rerun event. So one of the first major ones we had similar to this in a while, but this one specifically is highlighting some rewards that a lot of folks have missed on and have been begging for months and months and months now. So it's going to be very nice to see it come back. For this Year 1 rerun event, we have the opportunity to earn, or re-earn if you are a seasoned vet beyond Year 1, the Fire Medal, which is an Assist Nature Medal with a mastery in melee, support, and defense, and leg masteries in multi, float, and flight. We can also earn Medarot Rintaro, R or N ranks for collection, and we can also earn SGL-0 Seagaru, which is the one everybody's been vying for and wondering if she'll come back at all, with a mastery of Fire Shot, Laser, Melt Shot, Float Legs, and Bullet Rain. So lots of very solid rewards to be earned. While this may not be super appealing to anybody that's been playing since day one, much like myself or a handful of others, this is going to be a very good opportunity for new players and rookies that perhaps missed out on this the first couple years and really want to try to round out their their masteries and flexibility with medals, or especially with Seagaru and the parts that she brings to the table. Especially since, much like I said with Poison Scorpy, since damage over time damage has also been massively boosted, it does mean that she's going to be hitting notably harder and become more of a threat than she was in the past, now that those effects have been massively boosted. This event in particular will be Score Attack, which means pure sets are encouraged across the board to maximize bonuses. As you see here for those highlighted bonuses, Cheerful Bun 3 will give you a 15% bonus per part, Bun, Bun 2, and Arc Beetle will give you a 10% bonus each, and Seagaru at an 8% per part. The Fierce Battles will give you a 6% per part each. For Medarotters, as you see here, the SR version of Rintaro, which is in the general Medarotters pool, will give you that 10%. The SR versions of Arase, Hikaru, and Ikki at a 5% each. a 3% bonus for each of those as a R rank or 1% as N rank. Now, being completely honest, I think this event's probably going to be just a little bit easier for the most part as far as earning bonuses are concerned, mostly because all the models minus Cheerful Bun 3 are in the permanent pickup pool already. So you already have a shot at collecting them regardless. And same can be said for the Medarot. So if you've been pulling consistently in the Medarot banner with tickets or anything similar, you probably would have seen at least 3 or 4 of these already multiple times. So I really don't think anyone's going to have too much trouble farming stuff for this particular event. And like I said, if you are a seasoned veteran, this may or may not be the event for you, aside from maybe just some extra ruby shards and some extra rubies, but still worth farming for all the same for the extra rewards you earned. Now, some of the other major things that they did announce, they actually announced a bunch of major QOL updates that are coming to the game in the coming weeks. The first major one that they want to spend a lot of time touching on is applying custom poses to team lineups in team selection. So as you see here, a lot of these poses are not regular things that you would see in your team selection screen or your home selection screen. Now they're giving us the option to be able to pick basically any animation to that model, freeze frame it, and then hand pose the model for what we want them to look like in battle. Or rather, not in battle, but rather in idle, whenever we're not in battle, rather. So in your team select screen or on your home screen in particular, this is going to be really, really fun, and I'm actually excited to see what people are going to come up with. Additionally to this, they are also hosting a pose contest once this week's patch does go live, so we do have the opportunity to really see it in action, and people are able to post their screenshots of custom poses and everything to Twitter with a specific tag. However, it does also say specifically collaboration parts are not allowed. So if you use collab parts of any kind or capacity, your submission will of course not be counted. And there is also the opportunity to earn some extra rubies, and I think they may have even set an extra pose or two to be on the table as well, to be collected through this contest. So lots of really fun there. We also have a minor QOL update coming live to the meta search option as well. Originally, every time that a deployment came in, you'd have to go through the whole thing of collecting the rewards and redispatching them one by one. Thankfully, this new QOL update will basically allow you to redispatch and quick sortie the previous deployments that you already sent out. So that means if you've already set your 4, brought them all back, now you can quick sortie them once again, so that you don't have to go through the loading and receiving screens every single time for all 4 or all 5 if you're a meta pass holder during an event specifically. So I'm really liking that these QOL updates are incoming, and I'm really excited to see what's going to come out of them as they develop them forward. Now, for this month's, for October's PvP skins, we are actually they're kind of staying on the same train as they are with basically alt skinning models with their inverse counterpart. So this month we have the opportunity to earn a Unitress style X-Size and a X-Size style Unitress here. So as you see, they're basically colored in each other's color palettes, and even though it's not really anything, say, super elaborate or really high detail or anything like that, it's still a really creative thing all the same, and just as a friendly reminder, skins can also be touched with color chips, so this does give you some extra color palettes that you can play with, especially if you want to try to go for a particular uniformity with your colors or your team. We can also re-earn the Wolfman-style Evil Rex, which was the skin reward for last year's month of October, alongside the Dracula Bat Goth Bullet and the Jack-O-Lantern Spinagnon. Now, the last two, though, Dracula Bullet and Dracula Bat and Jack-O-Lantern, will be available in the skin shop for purchase. So those will be available for your root, for your diamonds at 200 diamonds per piece. But we have to earn Wolfman-style Evil Rex the hard way with the monthly rewards. But still worth and very well worth the effort to go after them. The online PvP and exhibition is still very lucrative for the stuff that it offers. You definitely don't want to miss out on those when you get the opportunity. Moving on to community stuff, there is always looking for translators. We're always looking for help for any translation projects or endeavors. Right now, there is still currently some effort being put towards finishing off Medarot 3's, just kind of tentative, minor bug fixes and such, but still a whole lot more effort going into 4. But we need a lot of hands and manpower to do so. So if you are knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or have some time on your hands, or if you know somebody that might be, feel free to reach out to me here on Twitter or on Discord, or join our Discord in the link provided below. Even better, ask around, say that you'd like to help. We are more than happy to get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done. We would love to work on other projects such as 5 and Navi and so on, or even some of the 3D titles, but we need the people to be able to do so. So if you know somebody, or if you want to help, ask around, send them our way, and we can fill you guys in and see what we can make happen. Now, the other really big piece of news, starting today, October 1st. If you are part of the Discord, you got this announcement at the stroke of midnight, and got the announcement early. But the 2024 Project Rising Beetle Ori Meta Contest is officially on. Starting October 1st, today, to November 19th, you can submit your fan-designed entries with the theme of role-playing game RPG, for a really special prize of a hand-drawn, detailed concept sheet drawn by yours truly. I'll even stream it, actually, once we do have our 3 rewards. And I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to come up with going forward. You guys have lots of time, lots of resources, and I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to put up. So, just a friendly reminder of that. There are no limits to the number of submissions that you can put down. Going over the rules briefly, it is role-playing game, RPG themed, so your clerics, your paladins, BBEGs, whatever you decide to translate and interpret as RPG, it's completely your game. We have assets and additional resources in the channels as well to help you if you need some assistance with that, with Medarot kits or templates to build off of. And I'm always open for feedback as well if you need to, despite, in spite of me being a judge, I'm more than happy to give some constructive feedback. Now, the only real rule I'm going to say as well is the entries can only be accepted through the Discord. So if you try to tag me in them on Twitter or send them to the Facebook and say they're part of the contest, they will not be counted. You need to put them in the Discord so we can see them all together all at once. I can collect them all and we can deliberate over them properly. But aside from that, anything goes aside from the other rules listed in the Discord. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. One other final reminder, I am always open for commissions, so if you are looking for a live 2D VTuber model ready to rig, a 3D model fully rigged, optimized, textured, the whole works, or even art of varying degrees of complexity or detail, or emotes, I am more than happy to try to make something happen with you with affordable pricing. So feel free to reach out to me on Discord or on Twitter, and we can most certainly try to make something happen and just see what we can do. The same can be said, by the way, if you are a content creator or VTuber of any kind and looking to maybe collaborate with me, so feel free to reach out to me as well, and we can definitely try to make something happen. Now then, with all the main news out of the way, I do actually have one other question for you guys as part of my Kura's musings section here toward the tail end of my coverage, and that is kind of with the direction of my channel. For folks that are unaware, or for folks that follow me on Twitter, you guys may already have an idea of what I'm alluding to. But for those that are unaware, to explain briefly, I have noticed over the past several weeks since my completion of Dark Cloud 2's Let's Play and even some of my most recent art streams, engagement has been rather low. I've not really seen a whole lot of viewers since I got started. I've not seen a lot of engagement in my chats or even community feedback on my art streams. Things have kind of started to stagnate, and I'm not going to say it's frustrated me because I know everybody has life they gotta live, and I'm not going to demand you guys come see me every time I stream because it's sometimes inconvenient for me. I understand that, but something does have to change on me. So I'm kind of at a crossroads here, and I need you guys to pick. So I'm facing 2 possible options, and both have their pros and cons, so I'm going to weigh both properly. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments specifically to help kind of weigh my decision either way. The first option is I consider dual streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. So whenever I do my art streams, my gameplay stuff, I'm going to be streaming to both places, Twitch and to YouTube. And on the topic of Twitch, I have actually been sprucing up that channel. It is still live, Twitch/Medarot News Network, however you search for stuff on there. I'm still learning, completely new to the platform. There's nothing on it, but it is kind of spruced up and updated just a little bit. Consider dual streaming. So I'll be doing it to both platforms, and I may have to rewire some stuff on the back end when it comes to streaming and such to kind of make everything work as it needs. The second option, and this one's probably going to be the easiest of the options, but I'm going to let you guys decide based on feedback and what you guys have seen. The second option is that I divvy up between both channels. My regular Medarot News Network coverage will remain as pre-recorded segments on YouTube, and I will live stream on there for special coverages or announcements or anything else as necessary. And alternatively, I will stream to Twitch. So any of my art streams, any of my Let's Plays or collabs or anything else like that I plan to host going forward, those will all be funneled toward Twitch full-time going forward. And it'll leave the YouTube channel primarily staying with the Medarot-based stuff as necessary, minus any kind of special event or special coverage else that needs done. So, again, I need you guys' opinions on this because I'm kind of at a crossroads here, and I want to hear what you guys want. So, I'm delivering stuff to you. I'm kind of your entertainer here for the time being, and that you're staying with me. So, any feedback, opinions that you have, please comment them down below. I read every comment, I promise you. And that'll kind of help me weigh my decision on what to do and what to consider. But, with all that being said and my spiel out of the way, I do believe that covers everything for this week's episode. So ultimately not a whole lot of new stuff per se, quote-unquote, aside from the really exciting custom poses QOL update, and of course us celebrating Cheerful Bunny's 3rd birthday with the 3rd version of her model, which I'm very excited to be seeing. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, which is nearing 40,000 members and still climbing by the day. I am absolutely confident we're going to be breaking 40k by the time that 2020 comes. I am absolutely confident. So feel free to definitely join us on there to keep in touch. But if you want to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action, you want to join us on the Discord in the link provided and in the comments below. This includes links to new merchandise, contests, fan art, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like that has to do with our favorite fighting robots. The Discord's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. And like I said previous, you can also follow me on Twitter at ItsuGamiKura, so if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or if you want to commission or collaborate with me, definitely feel free to reach out to me as well, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. Lastly, I am going to kind of step away from the folks in the Medarot community for a moment and just kind of highlight some dear friends of mine. First of all, my buddy Gold Guardian at Gorudo Gardna, the resident VTuber Super Robo. That does a lot of fun stuff on his channel as well. Collabed with him at one time with Scrap Mechanic, and we had an absolute blast. I'm excited for the next time that we try to coordinate something. And I also want to give a shout out to my friend Same, who does a lot of wonderful content as a VTuber interviewer and does a lot of stuff on their channel as well. Fun and zany, putting the sane and insane as they put it. Wonderful stuff, great friends. You definitely want to give them a follow. Especially be sure you support Sane in this time as well with the wake of Tropical Storm Helene, which did slap the coast pretty badly, and with a whole bunch of other stuff going on down in the area, it's pretty nasty. So if you can support Sane where you can with donations or support or encouraging words, definitely give them a shout. All the same. One other brief note, just to say that I covered it on the topic of Helene. Thoughts and prayers toward everyone in Asheville and everyone on the western half of North Carolina at the moment. I am living in North Carolina. It actually was kind of scary and just a little bit surreal to basically understand and realize that we had basically the equivalent of Hurricane Katrina come in and basically wipe most of Asheville off the map. It was bad. It was very bad. And my heart goes out to everybody out there right now working to rebuild and salvage what they can and evacuate, and everyone with all the rescue crews trying to go through there as well. My thoughts and prayers are with everyone during this time. Now, to assure you guys, I am nowhere close to that area. I'm actually situated more in the central of the state, so everything that happened from there was basically 3 hours north of me. So all I got was just some all-day rain and some really minor flooding in some places. But otherwise, just to assure you guys that I'm okay, I am fine, everything's all good. The sun's been out the last couple days here, there's nothing to fear. So your old pal Kura, your resident tinker, is doing okay. But do make sure that you do send some thoughts, prayers, and everything else to Western Carolina in this time. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Itsugami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.